Greetings and welcome. This is Mandrake. This is Mission 4 Recovery on the difficulty Legendary with all skulls on except for the skull Bandana. This video is part 1 of 2 that will cover the following side missions. Capture the 2 FOBs, Golf and Foxtrot, collect 5 out of 8 Spartan Cores, destroy 3 out of 5 propaganda towers, rescue 1 out of 4 squads, decommission banished outpost Ransom Keep, and eliminate 1 out of 2 HVTs, the Okro Vagaduun. So I'm just going to briefly talk about just some of the, at least, tactics going into capturing this FOB. It's not particularly difficult. There's really no tricks or anything like that to it. It's just a bit of a slow play.
Show what I can do.
So the one of the first things here is get in a position and identify where all the grunts are, because the grunts are going to be the first ones I shoot. They have shields. They'll activate their shields, so I'm going to see how many of these grunts I can shoot and take out before all the other enemies jump into cover and have to play this hide-and-seek game with those that remain. After experiencing and reviewing this, the tactic is very similar as far as what I would suggest, but I would say, sure, you start with what I did first, just take out some of the grunts, or at least those that would be difficult to deal with. I'll take out 3 of them, especially that third one was the one with the plasma turret, so you don't want to be dealing with that mess, but you can still overcome that. There's like a plasma barrel or plasma fusion coil that you can shoot, and it kind of helps take him out. But the real trouble is the 2 brute majors that have the rocket launchers. You can get damaged, you can get killed. You get too close to this edge and they shoot and hit the edge, you take damage or die. So really the priority after those first volleys on those grunts is to take out the brute majors. And I've got a stalker rifle, and you can take out the shield of the brute, and then a few headshots, and you'll take care of him.
Wow, I took damage.
So right there, he missed the foreground and hit behind me, and I took damage. I shot that coil. Sometimes that brute will get close enough to the coil, you can shoot and launch him off. He'll land and die. There might be a weird case, but I can't say I've had a case on this one where they come down and survive. And if they do survive, well, then he may make his way back to the platform and may not. If he doesn't, then if all the enemies are gone, then there's a chance that the game doesn't recognize all the enemies being dead, and then what you just use is kind of, you go out of the range of the FOB and then come back, and then as you're just out of the range, then you'll hear some kind of announcement that they're all in. In any case, so here is just, I'm looking to take out anything that's going to shoot at me.
Oh, now it reloads.
And that's usually, I was having some kind of weird reload problem. I don't know what was going on. So now I'm getting down here. I'm going to try and take out this brute. I think he's the last one.
Only a matter of
Okay,
time.
game, so I guess I don't have any, right. I'm not sure what I was looking for here.
Can't run for what is this?
You made short work of that,
And
huh?
interesting
Now
enough,
to business. Let's
the
lock
single
down
nade
FOB
killed
Golf.
him. It's inconsistent. He had no damage, didn't do anything to him. Single nade killed him. I've had other cases where even a brute that had some damage, even though he had a shield or didn't have a shield, stuck him and survives. It's silly, inconsistent. Don't know the rhyme or reason. But that particular time it worked out. I was really just kind of hoping that the nade would at least drop his shield and I could get in and punch him or shoot his helmet off and headshot him. So here, just gonna get this capped and start planning and working toward the next portion.
Yes, I was right. All I need to do is chat with the banished security protocol. And by chat, I mean push it out of the way because it is really not smart. And there. We now have ourselves a second FOB.
And then I speed forward through all this. Everyone has seen and knows about all of this, so I'm just going to kind of blow through this. So the next portion here is I'm going to get a ghost, and I'm going to go capture the other FOB. The other FOB is a bit more difficult because there are
ready, Chief?
5 elites and several grunts.
I already
think
told
maybe
you that the odds aren't great.
6 grunts, 8 grunts.
For them.
Then
And
let's go
it's
find out
a
what
difficult
that signal
one.
is.
With all the grunts and the disruptors, they can stun your ghost and cause some trouble and cause some problems. Getting stunned, get stuck by nades, getting your ghost all shot up and stuff like that. So there is some kind of randomness to like road patrols, roadblocks, checkpoints with, you know, all the banished enemies, where they're positioned, where they're placed. It's random. It's random as to the makeup. You have certain areas where you come across a road patrol and it's grunts and, well, let me say like brutes, grunts, jackals, and you come back, say, much later on, and you'll get the same area. You may have killed them all off, but then you get elites, grunts, and jackals, and so on. And so there's randomness to the placement, the enemies, if they're there, if they're not there. Over there was a chain hog, and that chain hog is there when the enemies are there. If the enemies are not there, then the chain hog is not there. I'm making my way over here to, there's a Mjolnir locker down in the creek, and these ghosts will always be here as long as that locker is there or uncollected. I don't recall, but I think I remember if you collect the locker, then the ghost will go away when you leave the area and the area resets. So by not collecting that locker, I will always be able to go back over there and collect a ghost. And there's always going to be, well, I say always 2 of them. There's going to be 2 of them there. Most of the fighting I do with the ghost is to just kind of get splatters. I'll shoot the enemies to prevent them from shooting. Put a few shots on them and they start... Yeah, that's just kind of odd how...
An easy target.
And then I go to splatter him, and again he hijacks. He's alive, he just got knocked away. So that's one of the little tricks you can do if you feel like if you see that you're getting hijacked and he's hijacking you want to go as fast as you can and then run into something that's a dead stop. As you saw right there, I ran into that tree and it dislodged him and kicks him off. Of course, the other thing you do is you exit the vehicle, and you can just punch them and then get right back in the vehicle and just continue. And these guys like to throw nades because of catch. So one of the things
my
that,
God, are you fucking kidding
I
me?
need to avoid, and you see why I'm kind of get upset, is the heat wave does tremendous damage to the ghost. And so 2 or 3 shots and the thing is going to be on fire. So just having that unfortunate tip over where the elite can just at will just shoot the ghost was just very upsetting. And here I wanted to exit the ghost to the left, and it puts me over to the right, and it kind of caused some difficulties here because whatever happened, I don't know what happened, and the ghost is now on fire. It was in very good shape, and I don't know what happened.
FOB Foxtrot is ours.
And not only that, my shield is singed, and I shouldn't be getting checkpoints. But I think there was something they changed or did with the game to where you might have shield damage and still earn checkpoints. But originally, due to Black Eye, to get your shield back, you need to melee to get your shield back. And in order to earn checkpoints, you need to have a shield. You need to have a fully charged shield. And so that's just ingrained in the game. That's ingrained in my methods, and knowing it's the thing that you need to do, and it's always part of the plan. Save at least one enemy, melee, so you definitely have a shield. Same applies if you're in a vehicle and the vehicle is shot. The vehicle might take damage. Your shield may not take damage. You may not show damage, but it counts toward damage to where you have to melee something, even though it doesn't do anything to help your shield. You have to go melee something, and then you can start earning checkpoints. Because there's been plenty of times I've gone through the game, because this is like my 3rd run doing this. And there's times I'm kind of like, why am I not getting checkpoints? I had no damage. My shield is perfect. There's nothing wrong here. And it was just because I was in a vehicle, and the vehicle may have been shot in the tire once by a disruptor. And that prevents you from getting checkpoints. But since, I guess, the winter update, or an update prior to this...
Oh, are you... What?
Yeah, that's just kind of silly. Oh, what did you hit? What did I hit there? It just tips me. So, yeah, some kind of change was made, and I don't know if it's consistent one way or the other, but is... you take shield damage, you can still earn checkpoints. And I'm not sure how much I agree with that change. And I'm not going to go ranting on about that, because I ranted on that in on these previous missions. So here I'm going to this Spartan Core that's by Briglard. Particularly because if you have Marines with you, you take Marines with you, Marines are following you, they do stupid stuff in this area. I could be away, far away from this Spartan Core. I may not even be near it, and something triggers them, and they all come running over here, and you'll find 2 or 3 that just go jumping off the cliff. And then when you try and get if you got like a hog or something, you want them to load back up in the hog. They won't get back in the hog. It's stupid stuff. So I'm making it a point that I'm getting that Spartan Core out of the way, so I don't have to deal with any stupid game shenanigans with the Marines and how they behave with that area. Now I was checking on that. There's a Marine pod, or Marine escape pod, that's there, and there's some randomness. You get 3 different outcomes with that, and one of those outcomes is 2 sniper rifles will spawn there, and you have like 2 brute majors and 1 jetpack brute major. And if you get that layout, then you get 2 sniper rifles. That comes in handy, because I'm going to want to equip Marines with sniper rifles. So it was set up differently. It was randomness, and it was taken care of, and I went and took care of that propaganda tower. So really, there's a couple different, put it this way, there's a variety of options and setups and things that you can do this, so I'm not going to particularly say any particular way that you have to do it. There's I don't necessarily say there's a right and wrong. I can really talk at length about the options you have as far as what to accomplish and you can do here, because there's the southern part of the island to go to, and you can't necessarily reach, say, like Starlight Squad or the propaganda tower down there with a vehicle, so you do so on foot. So by the right and wrong, I mean, I don't necessarily want to set up and do all the time, and everything needs to be set up to get a Razorback and collect 5 Marines, and then equip all 5 Marines with decent weapons. It takes a lot of time, so if I spend all the time doing that, and then it's like, oh, now it's time to go to the southern part of the island, well, I just did all that work to just jump out and leave them behind. So a lot of work here to get this Spartan Core. So as far as the plan that I followed here, and I can talk at length, pretty much at length about it, is the plan going into this was to capture Golf, get a Ghost, capture Foxtrot. Got 1 more of these guys to take out. Make sure I punch them so I got a shield.
Still not going to give me a shield.
Oh yeah, that was just silly. Game just couldn't give me a shield or shield recharge. I always kept having something little. There's once you get in the open world, there's a few different ways you can look to see if you have a shield. You get on one of those mounted turrets, see like that chain gun turret, you can mount that and you can see if you have a shield or not.
That sniper rifle is going to go away.
Yeah, as I'm noting, by the way, as I'm doing this stream, I'm really just kind of talking to myself and talking out loud. I don't feel like I'm speaking to a crowd or to an audience. I'm really just kind of just talking out loud. There's a sniper rifle that will spawn there. It's random as to when it's there, but I think it's usually going to be there here in the beginning. You haven't really made much progress or done much.
Be other sniper rifles.
But when you get that Spartan Core, you look off to that location, and there's the sniper rifle that's going to be sitting up there. But I'm not set up in a position where I'm ready to equip Marines. I don't even have any Marines yet. I'll find some along the road, but I'm really indecisive as to if I want to. I almost lost the ghost there. That nade was pretty close.
Come on!
Yeah, where's the headshot? So now I'm getting shot up. I need to. Still don't think I heard a shield charge. Still not getting. Guess I have a shield, and it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like I have a shield. I don't recall about this sniper. But I'm trying to get set up here to just kind of finish off this, and I'm going to be signing off soon, so I'm just kind of looking around. I'm trying to plan and think about what I'm going to be doing with the plan compass. Really, just the point was just to get started, get the 2 FOBs captured, get a few of the Spartan Cores. Here come some reinforcements, and it's time to get away and go back to the FOB. And I get back to the FOB or roundabout. I'll be trying to think and plan on how to get set up for just, I'm going to be signing off, and then later on I'll be signing back on and then continuing this. But really, the plan was,
I didn't get this.
They're getting the 2 FOBs, the Spartan, 2-3 Spartan Cores, 2 propaganda towers, and then the plan is to rescue Cayman Squad, because Cayman Squad has a Razorback there, and so I can rescue those guys. I'll do it with the Ghost. Rescue them, see how many Marines survive, put them in the Razorback, and I'll drive around and try and pick up other Marines. And then with that, with a good Razorback, 5 Marines, well-equipped Marines with decent weapons, then from there I'm going to want to go and decommission Ransom Keep, but I'll talk more about that and how things didn't work out. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here and then sign back on and continue. Getting signed back on. The plan I follow, specifically what order to complete the side mission objectives, varies with each time I run through this mission. There are several options. However, I look for an early path to acquire a Razorback and seat 5 well-armed Marines to do most of the killing. The goal is to acquire enough Valor points to requisition a Razorback. This can be as quick as decommissioning Ransom Keep for 100 points, rescue 1 Marine Squad for 30, destroy 2 propaganda towers, which are 10 each. That amounts to $150 points, which is what is needed to requisition a Razorback. As signed in, even though I ended the game, I have no idea if I got a progress saved or a checkpoint when I was at the FOB, but it should have put me at the FOB. It didn't, so I'm going to fast travel to Foxtrot and get set up and get ready to go and get things set up. What I'm working on here really ultimately is the plan for how to attack Ransom Keep. And my goal was to rescue Cayman Squad, because Cayman Squad has a Razorback. And with the Razorback and Cayman Squad, and I'll pick up some Marines along the road. I can get 5 Marines. I'll equip them with like a sniper rifle, bulldogs, and go and attack Ransom Keep that way. Uh-oh, I have this roadblock here. This roadblock can be very random with its layout, with what equipment is here, or is like crates. And it's also enemies, with what enemies show up here. And of course I got those 2 grunts at the ghosts that are shooting at me, keeping me from getting a shield. So yeah, this big setup is trying to get. I'm gonna save Cayman squad, get those guys, whip them. There should be a bulldog over there, maybe two.
UNSC distress signal nearby, Chief.
There's a couple of
Marking
places
the
to go
source.
where I can find a bulldog. I'm gonna get this guy and get his shield down, and then I'll jump out and make sure he doesn't shoot me. No! Yeah, he threw that nade. And it looks like I got a shield. Now, this is a very difficult squad to rescue, especially by yourself, or if you don't have like a Razorback with Marines, because there are several elites, and plus with all the grunts and the elites with heat waves, that is, and heat waves, just a couple shots, 2-3 shots, and your ghost is on fire. So I'm gonna bring along a second ghost and park it close enough to where it won't despawn, it won't go away. And so if I get a damaged ghost, I can always retreat back to here and pick up the second ghost. There's lots of difficulties with this because of so many grunts with all the disruptors that you can get stunned and then stuck with the nade, stunned and stuck with the nade. So the good news is here I'm getting these guys from behind. Took out a couple
Reinforcements
elites.
inbound.
And with that, here come more elite reinforcements. So there's 4 elites dead, and now I just got to deal with the grunts. And there I flew over a grunt. And right there, my ghost is already on fire from just hitting and splattering. Nades nearby, and then friendly nades. Thanks a lot with the friendly nades. Now keep your eye very closely here. Off to the right, there is the Razorback. A couple of grunts are here. And I take them out, and where did the Razorback go? I don't recognize it. I don't realize it.
The UNSC lost so many on this range.
And then I start
but
looking
now that
for
you're
it.
back,
Where's
they've
the
got a
hog?
fighting
Yeah,
chance.
where'd it go? With all the, because of catch, the Marines are going to throw frags. They were throwing frags. Instead of shooting their weapons at the grunts, the frag blasted away the Razorback, thus ruining the whole purpose of getting the Razorback and going after Ransom Keep. And now it changes my whole dynamic. I'm going to have to use a ghost and try and just carry these Marines along. And I'll pick up some more Marines along the road. But first thing here is I'm going to run over and take out this propaganda tower. The big reason for propaganda towers, the banished outposts, saving the squads, is to earn valor points. And need valor points to requisition weapons and vehicles. And first and foremost, it's going to be the Razorback, as I keep mentioning. I am shooting this propaganda tower from distance because I can't tell you how many times it seems that, you know, it seems like I'm far enough away from a propaganda tower and shoot it, and my shields will get singed somehow, some way, from something, and it's greatly irritating. They'll spend all the time, and I got a shield, and all enemies are dead. Now it's time to move on, take out this propaganda tower, and then it will singe my shield. But here in this case, I was far enough away, no damage, I'm good. And I just want to have these Marines, you know, they're linked to me, and just need to get them to follow me along, and I'll just carry them along, and we're going to go to Ransom Keep. I'm going to pick up a new ghost along the way. And being that I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with the back and forth, I'm not going to take 2 ghosts. I'd probably be better off taking 2 ghosts because, like I'm saying, it's paper thin, it's weak. Just a couple heat waves will put this thing on fire. There'll be some elites to face off in Ransom Keep with the heat waves. And so it's very difficult to keep this thing going and keep it alive. And it's really best, I'm just going to go in Ransom Keep. It's close quarters. Really? This thing got all reset. Oh yeah, and so you killed up all these enemies at this intersection. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, a couple elites with heat waves, and there goes a brand new ghost. And not only that, there goes the shield, and I have to fight these guys all over again. So this intersection got all reset. And of course, those grunts are going to reset, so I need to go get a new ghost. And in doing so, I'm not sure if I took damage from them shooting, so I'm going to have to again kill one of them, save the other, and punch them out, and do so before these Marines throw nades and mess it up. I guess I hadn't had damage. I'll see. Getting in the ghost is good. Yeah, so much for a second ghost. It'll take a little time, but you can move two ghosts along. You just move one up ahead, trump back, get another one, move it up, and just kind of overlap each other back and forth. I was really thinking about probably best going in with a plasma pistol rather than the stalker. I'm not gonna really have a whole lot of need for long range shooting, and so plasma pistol, and there's just an abundance of grunts. It'll come in handy for that, and there'll be some jackal miners that'll drop plasma pistols, and there's one or two plasma ammo dispensers that can always load up. So this Marine, I believe, already has a bulldog. I can't recall what the other one has. And I was thinking about you give them rocket launchers. Sure, that seems good, but it seems to work both ways. It can work against you. So just moving along slow here, so the Marines can keep up. And here's some along the roadside that I'll pick up. So I'll be going into Ransom Keep with five Marines. I'm not going to bother equipping them with any particular weapons or anything. Just going to leave them with what they got. So this is a bit of a lengthy process. This is a slow play. I think one of the Marines picked up a heat wave, which is good. Heat wave will be okay. Razorback's gone. Can't requisition. And so after Ransom Keep and after earning enough valor for a Razorback, the next thing to earn would be
these
Bulldog.
guys on the ground.
I can requisition Bulldogs.
Ghost.
When you start recovery, you have 350 valor points. You only need 150 to get to an additional 150 to get to the Razorback. Razorback is 500. And so to achieve that, you get 100 for the banished outposts, and then however you want to do it, you get your squads are worth 30 and propaganda towers are 10, and that'll get you there. So you got this jackal sniper. He's got a stalker up there. I'm gonna take him out because he can provide a lot of grief from up there. There'll be another one on the main security building.
Looks like some kind of salvage operation. What's our move?
So again, the tactic and the method here is shoot the enemies on foot so they're not shooting you. And when you kill this last enemy here outside the gates, then a Phantom will provide reinforcements inside the compound and drop off. I don't know. I don't recall what they drop off. I haven't really explored what goes on, but he's gone. Here comes a Phantom. He's gonna go and drop off some enemies inside. With most bases, I don't know if it's necessarily all bases, but most of these bases, there's always an additional a secondary way of getting in the base, whether it's a wall that is destructible, or there's gaps in a wall, there's gaps in the fence, And so this one's easy. This is an easy one to just
The banished
go in,
really
and
want to
you can
protect their
see an
fuel
easy way to
silos.
get in. So I'm just sneaking
Clearly.
instead of
So what
climbing
are you
over
going
the
to do about it?
fence and opening the gate. I'm just going to.
Nice. You need to manually
Yeah, there was
raise
something.
each
The
silo
hell,
first.
something stopping the ghost from moving.
The hell, game?
I should have taken out that. I should have finished off that jackal. He would have taken a lot more shots to kill. That grunt was lining up to throw a nade on me. See that jackal major? He's got a mangler, and he's just gonna wreck the hog. So here I am. Here come my 5 Marines. They followed me around. They knew where to go. One of them's got a rocket launcher. Fantastic. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me with it.
Each fuel
Uh-oh.
silo should have a manual override. Scan the area.
Yeah, take him out. He's got a rocket launcher. I killed that jackal. He's got a plasma pistol, so I can get a plasma pistol. No, but yeah, this jackal is just murdering my guys. There's two elites in here.
Oh, come on!
And taking lots of damage. And more damage because of that heat wave. So I get these 2 elites down. There'll be heat waves and a couple swords.
Don't I have more?
And yeah, where are my
Can't tell me just
Marines? I had
one.
5
I had
Marines.
5.
I had 5 Marines. What happened?
And this thing's all beat up already.
I gotta keep this ghost alive and keep it going. This little central area here, this little scrapyard area, there's 2 silos. That front gate silo is a single. It's the one protected by 2 elites and some other little guys. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of clearing out the enemies around this immediate area here, and then I'll just take out the silos. I got paused for something. I don't recall what. And in this back area here, you got 1 silo off to the right, and in this area here is just, like I'm saying, he tries to hijack. You speed up and run into something and kick him, and it kicks him off. And over here is just a ammo dispenser. There's the Spartan Core. Yeah, throw the nade instead of shoot him with the rocket launcher. And where I'm shooting, there's 1 grunt and an elite guarding that silo. And I'll go over some detail once we get there. When reinforcements arrives, or what the trigger is for when reinforcements arrive, and what kind, what are they, and stuff like that. Yeah, I almost ate that nade. And of course you finish off these guys, and then there's still something else shooting you from distance. I need to drop down. Get a shield back from him. And I was unsure what that rocket launcher was. If that was... Yeah, throw the nade on me.
Damn it, asshole!
Yeah, really. I just get my shield back and throw a nade and just damage it. I think Alright, so when you take out this silo here in the front what I would say by the front gate. There's going to be a Phantom to drop off some enemies around the central scrapyard. And we'll have to kind of wait and see, because sometimes when a Phantom shows up, they'll drop off one set of enemies, and in some case they might drop off 2 sets in different locations.
You ever get a look at Ishram? He's older than dirt and smells like burning tires.
I'm going to put start up a little stockpile out here in the open where I can see him, where I can see the weapons. Right. And sure, things could be done quicker, more efficient. There was just a lot of indecisiveness and planning and thinking of, what am I doing for this, what am I doing for that. I don't want to use any of my carrying weapons, so I want to use something that's laying around that I'm typically not going to use. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to get maybe some plasma, maybe use a nade, a plasma nade or something like that, that's stock, like, say like those spikes that were in a corner. I could use the spike nades, and then just one spike will take it out. I go pick up one. And so here comes some reinforcements. Apparently, instead of a Phantom, it's drop pods. Not really sure where the drop pods landed, where they are.
Before you guys died.
Yeah, it was just kind of silly. 4 of them died within seconds, and I didn't even see or even know that it happened. It's just I'm left with this one. And here in the early going, my ghost is already on fire and in bad shape. I have this Jackal sniper on top of that building. He's going to drop a stalker rifle up there. That's good ammo for what I'm carrying. And now I'm carrying it. I'm going to drop this heat wave out here in the street. Now I want to go take out these other 2 silos. There'll be more reinforcements. Okay. You take these out. And I think they're drop pods. Drop pods around the front gate.
You know what to do now.
I was looking over here in this side. I think there's the spikes. So I'm going to throw the spikes and get cover so I don't get any damage.
Silo 2 is offline. What is happening?
Here.
Destroy that silo, Chief.
I think what had happened is I had a silly death or something when I started this, and
Spartan?
I guess underestimated what enemies were in the drop pods, and I ended up some kind of silly death. And I have the ghost. So here's some drop pods and a Phantom this time. So I took out that elite and 2. Yeah, he's got that. Try and shoot him so he doesn't shoot. And of course, throw your nade.
Don't throw that nade!
Oh my goodness. Thank you, catch. I'm not sure where the Phantom did, because I was too tied up with these guys here in the street. I think this is the time when I look to set up a stockpile, and I think I'm going to look to put the stockpile up on top of the rooftop of this building here. And I think I'm just gathering and putting these items here. This part could have been sped up, but I don't I'm not sure why this wasn't sped up. Probably be good if I did. Oh, here comes some more reinforcements. I go back for my ghost. Gives me a chance to get my shield back. I'm not sure what we got here. A couple of elites, so I'm not going to bother shooting or punching any of those guys. It's too risky. Pick up a sword and do it. The thing that you could do, I looked at could have done, is shoot him up to get his shield down.
I need to get
And
a shield.
then I could use the sword and stab him, and then I would get a shield back. However, in doing that, the elite will shoot you with the heat wave and in probably one shot that ghost will go. So it was too risky. So just shooting him, taking him out as soon as possible is the best thing to do. Make sure. Oh. Here I think I'm looking to get the sword up to 100%. And now I've got that. Now. A full sword. My main purpose with the sword is if I need to get a shield recharge, then I'll equip myself with the sword. I'll get myself down to one enemy, and instead of having to, like if it's a grunt and have to punch him 4 times, I take his shield out and stab him, and it's just one slice. If he's got the shield, he has no damage, he's got the full shield, it's 2 slices with the sword.
Dead Marine.
And can't recall what I'm looking for here. Maybe a pulse carbine, and I'm not going to find one over in this area. There is one on a rack at that 4th silo, that backyard. I do have use for a pulse carbine with the... There'll be a brute major inside this security building where the Scorpion is. And
This
that
almost tells me like a Phantom blew up. That's where those come from.
Yeah, I can't see where. Yeah, how did we get these plasma turrets? How did these show up?
These can stay here.
They have a drunken pilot and he crashed the ship?
That's disappointing.
I can't recall what it was I was looking for. This is a good, safe place to equip, or at least get back to. You can fight the enemies. You got high ground. You got good cover. They throw nades, and nades aren't gonna get you.
No. Alright, 1, 2, 3 down. That corner's left.
And when I take out this 4th silo will bring in some more drop pod reinforcements. I think there are a couple skirmishers, 2, maybe 3, can't recall the number. And they're right outside that gate, that entry into that 4th silo area. So you take that out, and then you turn to want to leave there, and they drop right there, kind of blocking your way out. And again, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to gather up and trying to get. And there I got the Spartan Core. think I had the stalker and maxed out the ammo on the stalker. So now I think it's time to get the ghost, and I'm gonna go for the 4th silo.
How am I getting checkpoints when I don't have a shield?
Yeah.
A fully charged shield.
Defend Ransom. Counter them.
Well, actually, it was killing that last enemy in this area, not necessarily the silo. I think there's one grunt hanging out in this little cave area. I should use him to get my shield back.
It ain't fair!
And finally, shield recharge.
Take that. There's spikes.
So I have those spikes that are hanging out. And another grunt. My goodness.
Another one.
And I got him without getting shot up. Make sure I got the ghost out of the way.
Right.
So use a spike to take out. And yeah, there's 2 pulse carbines.
There's a group.
Maybe there's
There's the.
Guess I can. No, there's plenty of plasmas just laying around. I guess I'm gonna use plasma. We'll see.
Take out that silo.
You need to take out the 4 silos before the security building unlocks, or at least those 2 security buildings. For your best outcome with the blowing up the
We've got company,
silo
Chief.
with a single
Well,
nade,
More company.
you hit
It
those
looks like the
seams,
Banished
that
are
kind of
tearing
orangey
down and
colored
repairing
seam,
vehicles here.
and that's your
Not
best
for
bet.
long.
That's like its weakest point.
Marking the repair base. Let's do this.
I don't really mess with the, yeah, here come the reinforcements. And it's just best because to get out of the way so I don't get the ghost ruined. I think he makes 2 drops. He's going to drop some enemies off outside that security building. And then I think he goes to another location and drops
You
off
can leave
some
now.
more. Yep, he goes to that central yard and drops off some more. I don't recall what enemies.
You can leave now.
But with the ghost, I'll be fine. So more grunts and jackals, and here comes a jetpack. Jetpack group. Didn't get to splatter him enough. I splattered him enough to take out his shield. These brutes, you know, they see you and then want to throw the nade, or they just shoot the
Couple
rockets.
Runs inside.
Taking damage. Got these 2 grunts that are
Shield
inside this little
down.
security building, and I can always get my shield back from them. So I'm weighing my options with how I want to proceed with doing this.
I'll just stab him. Or 4 down. Where's the...
What I think I'm doing here is wanting to use the heat wave to at least take the shield out and then stab him.
I don't know. Should I use this? Something else I can use? How about a
Yeah,
pulse
looking to
carbine?
use
How
a
about
different weapon for taking out that core, because the heat wave will bounce off the walls and can come back and make contact with me. Damage my shields even more. Rocket launcher is a little too much.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna.
So instead of juggle this carbine, I'm just gonna take that mangler, drop it, and then just carry it all the way back instead of juggling. That went well. Now, reinforcements for this, you take out this,
Now, if I
what do we call it?
end this, do that, then there's gonna be shit go down.
So you take out this repair bay, and the reinforcement is going to be a single drop pod with a camo elite. So that's why I'm getting the ghost ready. I don't want to necessarily get into a sword battle with one of these guys.
They're stripping UNSC hardware to repair.
So as you'll see, just right out front here
excavation
comes a
equipment?
single elite.
Are the banished digging
Take
for
him out.
something?
Get away from the drop. Shade. The couple items left. You have that one objective. Just got to take care of that repair bay where the Scorpion is. Inside, there's a couple skirmishers, camo elite, and a brute major. So I'm just gathering up weapons for that.
Do you see that? One M808 Scorpion. In pretty good shape, too.
So I'm going to...
Could be useful, if you like that kind of thing.
I'm going to use the pulse carbine on the brute. And I'll use the ghost on the elite. And perhaps the ghost on the two skirmishers. But the plan was hoping to save one of these skirmishers for a melee. The thing that's going to happen here is I'm going to get this done. And I accidentally killed both of the skirmishers with the ghost. And I'll go ahead and just let it play out. The two skirmishers come out to play. He jumps out in front of me as I go to splatter. And I'm left with, you know, I probably needed to melee those guys. I needed to melee one of them. Yeah. And I also kind of realized with the two elites that are going to be coming down in the drop pods and reinforcements, I'm not going to melee either one of those. Let's do this. Let's see where I'm at. See what checkpoint I got. It seemed like a decent checkpoint. I'll just do it again and just make sure I get my shield. Okay, so I'll just kind of do the same thing with this brute. Yeah, I haven't.
Come here. I wanna flirt.
So I shot him 4 times, lost the helmet, and stabbed him, and yeah. What? Excuse me, what happened there? Why did I have to stab him twice? He had more damage the second time around, and it took 2 strikes. But I had plenty of sword. just the unexpected inconsistency that's frustrating. So being that I didn't take any damage, I was just looking to shoot these two guys, and then I get shot. Oh, he got me. So now I have to go in there and stab him. Last repair bay, last objective. Base is complete. This portion is complete. However, I still got to kill these elites.
Ransom Keep is officially offline.
So come on, shoot,
We
shoot,
did it,
shoot,
Chief.
shoot. Oh boy.
Well, you did.
Yeah, and then I took damage.
Come on.
So I'm going to
Yeah, I
try
took
and
fucking
suicide, go
damage
back
from
to
that.
our checkpoint,
Ugh.
and it's going to give me the checkpoint with shield damage. So there again, it's... Why am I getting a checkpoint with a damaged shield?
It's gonna give me a checkpoint without a fully charged shield? How
Yeah,
dare the game
it's
do
painful.
that?
So now my thinking was... It's now changed, at least my thinking has changed, because the expectation was to complete this with the shield. Now all the enemies are dead. Now I have to go hunt for an enemy, and I'm not going to do it here. I know there's some enemies outside the compound here, and I just have to find them roadside, find them in the wild. I have to find something to get my shield back on, and it's just that uncertainty of being able to do it and not die. What kind of checkpoint am I going to get? What's the consistencies or inconsistencies with doing that? So there's a... It's one of the random things you get, that Razorback that spawns there. Now here I'm kind of running around and I hear gunfire, so I want to go to a safe place where I'm not getting shot at or going to take any more damage. So I'm just looking and planning out my next objective, and it's going to be to take out Okro Vagaduun so that I can requisition a sword. And that pretty much means heading south. Now, the option I was faced with and looking at was to load up that Razorback with Marines. I'd have to hunt down one or two more Marines. That's not the big deal. The big deal would have been equipping the Marines. And I didn't want to go through the trouble equipping the Marines. So here I'm going to get my shield back off of these guys, and it worked out well. So yeah, the thing was, spending a lot of time equipping the Marines, get them in the hog, and then it usually works out well. I think it's I don't know how much of a better. You can really kind of weigh the options. Either go after the Okro Vagaduun, go after Dune with Ghost on foot, or take a hog and deal with all the stuff that's all the clutter around him. It's close quarters. It's hard to see him, and your Marines don't necessarily see him when he's camoed, and so you have to rely on your Marines to shoot and kill him. And if they can't see him, then that's just kind of a problem. So here I'm just looking to take the Ghost. I'm going to go to Okro Vagaduun and try and splatter, just do a lot of the splatter and shoot enemies, and do what I can on foot. It'll take a little while. It's a bit of a slow play.
Okro Vagaduun is nearby, Chief.
Be careful. He's got quite a rap sheet. Thousands of UNSC personnel died at his hands. Time to make it right.
So here I'm just trying to case out where the enemies are and really kind of pick my targets because I want to at least take out a couple elite, I mean not elite, take out a couple of
Shoot me.
take out a couple of the grunts, but then there's an elite out where I'm looking at. He's kind of off in the distance off to the left side. There is an elite over there, but I don't think I could get a shot on him.
Clear out.
And so he would have
that
been the
side
one
over
to take out
there.
and shoot first, and I
Get to
couldn't.
the-
I couldn't get eyes on him.
Ammo dispenser.
I also realized, yeah, I couldn't shoot him, so what? I can splatter him with the ghost. And that quick, he got his shield up.
Ah, come on. You're asleep.
Yeah, the grunt was asleep.
Jesus.
And that quick, turned on his shield. Sleeps with his finger on the trigger. There's a jackal sniper that I can't quite get a shot on. I'll look to change location to see if I can pick them off. But in doing so, I'll be shot at by various grunts, which is part of the thing you gotta weigh if you want to take a Razorback here. Then you also at risk of getting stunned by these guys, and then you're just a sitting duck. So if I'm in a ghost, I can if I'm stunned, I can get out and still move around and get back to the ghost. I can shoot, being I got the stalker, and there's I think 2 plasma ammo dispensers down in that area. I'll use shoot these guys from distance with the stalker, that's why I brought it along, and try and take out these grunts that are going to be causing me problems. They'll shoot you from distance. They'll stun the ghost or vehicle from distance. It may not be very accurate, but there's plenty of grunts to shoot you. Here I'm already taking damage, so I'm going to need to try and get my shield.
Ollie, your shield! And fight!
So if you haven't known, as I was hitting that jackal before getting to that grunt, you punch the shield, you don't get your shield back. You can even punch him, hit his shield, and kill him, and still not get his shield back. Because it doesn't, if you hit the shield, it doesn't count as hitting the body. You gotta hit the body. Shield. Start me a little stockpile. A plasma pistol is gonna be necessary. Try and take out this. Take him out. I think here real shortly. Here we go. Here comes reinforcements, and yeah, that nade just did damage on the ghost. You got these. What's wrong with the heat wave? I'm pulling the trigger, it shoots twice, and then it hesitates, and then it tries to shoot weird the third time. It's weird. What's going on? Yeah, I had a death, and I'm trying to shoot. It first 2 shots shot, and then there was some weird delay, and it wouldn't shoot. But then it started to shoot. It was strange. It's not like it was, waiting for a reload, because it was already reloaded. Hesitate. There's some hesitation with the game. Here, I'm getting shot up. Jesus. See, there you go. Another case where a single nade doesn't kill him. And here, when this first started, a single nade killed one. All these fucking nades. These guys just have the free reign just to throw nades on me. gonna see about trying. I had a very difficult time on this
Come
platform
on.
where I'm trying to climb up on these piers, and I keep falling off. I kept grapple and climb up, and then it would slip, fall down, and have to do it over and over and over. I take out these group majors because those rocket launchers, they're pretty good at shooting, and they can get close enough to where the damage will get you. Splash damage will get you. I don't even think they're going to shoot at me. And I'm not sure where Okro is. Okra. And again, keep falling off this thing. And
come
fall
on.
again.
Really?
Yeah, when I'm not looking, then they pepper you with the disruptor. And I'm looking for that brute. Yeah. Okay. Want to kill off all these enemies and then take him on with the ghost, because it's you take him on with other enemies around, grunts, they'll stun you with the disruptors. You're trying to do work on them, and it becomes, and they're throwing nades. It's just such a mess. So I got to take all these other guys out around him.
Oh, that's a headshot. Come on.
Hostile reinforcements inbound.
We already had reinforcements. Can I get more?
What's wrong with the headshots?
I'm a little too close to Okro. And again, falling off of this thing. Thinking about saving that mule. So she announced reinforcements, and I don't recall seeing any reinforcements. I could get a shield back from him, but that elite is running around here somewhere. Oh, I can just jump out and lock them and get back in. I think all Okro has is a sword. He doesn't have anything he can shoot at me with.
That's a wrap on the crew.
And so
Now
him,
for
I'm
the
just going to
target.
shoot him and wear him down to where his shield is down and drained. And once his shield is drained, you can splatter him. But it's not very consistent into what... Here, if you hit him while he still has a shield or has good health, it just pushes him.
Yeah, and now it ends.
He just rolls off the hood. You don't kill him until you get his shield down. And there's the splatter. Oh wait, no, there it is. Shield is down. And then I'm left with having to find a way to get my shield back.
Target and crew eliminated. Life on this ring just got a little safer for the UNSC. Hey, did you get a look at that
Now here's a
modified
very
weapon the target
fortunate
was carrying? Pretty inventive,
scenario.
even for the banished. So I copied it. I've sent updated schematics back to our
better not
forward
go too
operating
far
In
bases.
that cave
Give us an edge.
that I was going in, there's some
I'd
sleeping
suggest sending a
grunts,
thank you card for the
and
upgrade.
just very
But
easily
you
just
killed the
walk up and
intended
just punch one
recipient,
of them
so
and
we
then just
can
walk
skip that
away.
part.
I think I eventually looked to do that. That's not the side I chose to get out. So I'm taking the stalker. Okay, these are full. So now the
And
setup and what my
grenades.
plan is now to
I
head to
didn't
the
use
southern
any
part of the
spikes.
island
All this stuff's
and
gonna
rescue Starlight Squad.
And I'm
and
pretty
that
sure
is
I've got a
the
shield.
process. That is a
roll
lengthy
over here to see if there was
setup and plan
something lingering
and
in this
execute.
cave.
It's a slow play.
Usually something on the other side of the cave.
Yeah, see here's some sleeping grunts, and this works out just great. I can now just go just punch one. And he doesn't wake up anymore, so it just worked out great. Yeah, alright. For sure now I have a shield. That worked out just great. So surprising. Whatever they did with the game, sometimes you punch these guys while they're asleep and they wake everybody up. I'll take the ghost as far as I can go, and I'll make my journey. Now the setup and the plan is, I'll just try and summarize as best as I can, is I think I need to work my way over to the Spartan Core, and I get that Spartan Core because it's in the area, so that's where I'm working my way over. And there's gonna be some enemies here in between me and the core, and there's some weird difficulties that occur as I'm trying to get there. With a phantom that comes along, and you got a camo elite.
I will deal the killing blow.
Ah,
I
damn
am
it.
one with the shadow. You will not stop me. You will butcher no more of my kin.
I saw him, and he got his shield on just before I could shoot him. So here's my second chance, and that was just easy enough. Just knew he was there at that point, but I couldn't see him the first time. Here comes the Phantom, and this is where things get real kind of dicey and messed up, because now I'm getting shot by the, oh my goodness, I took damage. And I had my full shield, and that caused a problem. Oh, is he gonna drop off? And then drops off some enemies. Great. And I think I've lost part of my shield, and so once again it gives me a checkpoint. Yeah, I had a checkpoint because I ended up getting out of there and falling. Yeah, I'm the only these places, this giant place and all this area to go, but yeah, there's little pockets you can't go, I guess. There's some places where I'm climbing and the grapple just stopped grappling and wouldn't let me grapple, and I would fall to my death. And then it just happened several times, and I just couldn't see why I couldn't grapple the walls, why I couldn't grapple. I'll work my way down here, and I get the Spartan Core. So the plan here is to work my way down to Starlight Squad from this side of the ravine. I don't think I'm going to get a check.
Picking up a UNSC
I do
distress
this
signal
long,
not
it's a
far
long
from
way to
the
go.
base.
I'm going to ignore Carrera. That'll be done at a later time. But it's work my way down to Starlight from here. I know there's a small camp of some banished that are hanging out. That's going to be where I want to get a plasma pistol, a pulse carbine. I think there's even a, what do you call it, the skewer. So I can start a little mini stockpile and bring them along and get them across the ravine. cases like this where I grappled like that, and I'm grappling like this, in that earlier place where those piers were, it wouldn't let me grapple, and I just would fall to my death. It was I've heard enough of this, man. Here I'm kind of going along the wrong side of where I want to go, so I can climb up more, keep climbing, and I will have the fortunate occurrence of coming across a brute sniper with a skewer. He's a skewer sniper, and yeah, it's coming up, and that's what gets me out and saves me with, because I have a damaged shield, and then I'm kind of like, okay, well, I've got a chance to get my shield back, and here he is. Not only I get my shield back, I punch him and I get the weapon he has, and I'll juggle that weapon along. But I start running off and then realize, oh, I could just take that shield, I could take that skewer with me. So I go back for the skewer. This is all sped up. The first time I did this, as you saw, that there was a, you know, with the video there, it looked like it wasn't exactly seamless. I had killed him, and he had gone off the ravine, and he took his weapon with him. But I just did a suicide and I went back to that checkpoint. So here I'm getting set up. Down below here is that camp where I remember. All right, I'm here. And I had brute. And so the setup on this camp is different from
This is new.
from usual.
I've not had this.
And I hadn't seen, like I just got to saying, I hadn't seen this before. The thing was, on a different account, on a different day, whether it might have been the same day, it might have been earlier or something like that. I think it was like an earlier day or something that I went and just, on, like I said, a different account, went over here and it was set up just the way I remember it.
This the half a dozen times before. There's a wreck that's got like a plasma.
And I just
pistol
start
or
naming what's out
carbine.
here. So,
Nades.
close carbine, the plasma pistol, a
I think even some
plasma
bullets,
ammo
I don't
dispenser
know
is
if there's
here.
an ammo dispenser, but
And so, being that none of this is here, I decide to just end the game
blows.
and
This blows. There's almost no point in.
yeah. So the thing is, I would just end the game and just, or I think I just go back. I do a fast travel. I think I just fast travel
There's
back
nothing
or
here.
end the game and then restart it and then hope that
There's
this
nothing here.
resets. Not only will it reset, but reset with a different scenario. Now, as far as resetting it, I'd have to take the skewer with me. I'd have to take the skewer with me to reset it. See, what I could do, I could just fast travel back to the base. That would reset it, and I could start this journey again. And then hope that it resets, and probably have to end the game and resume. I'm going to have to end the game and resume in order to really give this a reset. Okay, as you heard me weighing my options on the stream. Option 1, fast travel back to FOB Golf and return back to this camp in hopes that it will reset with a different and preferred arrangement. However, it just may give me the same layout. Option 2, end the game, resume, and return back to this camp in hopes it will give me the preferred layout. From here, I just hop down here and I start looking around to see, is there anything here? Is there anything here useful in any way? And there isn't. I ended up choosing to fast travel back to the FOB, end the game, resume, and return. That will conclude part 1 of 2 of the side missions. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me for part 2 of 2 of the recovery side missions.
What's their move, Chief?
Yeah, I'm going to end the game.